Welcome, lovies, to Wild Woman Podcast. Today I have the beautiful Grisel with us, Curandera, medicine woman, and my dear friend and soul sister. Thank you for saying yes and showing up and being willing and ready to share the medicine of voicing and being vulnerable and authentic and just being ready to share some wisdom and some be a light to someone out there that's listening to your story. Thank you.
Well, thank you for having me.
So go ahead and briefly just introduce yourself, your name, where you're from, or your family.
My name is Grisel Garcia. I'm from Long Beach, was raised in Long Beach. Really born in San Pedro and raised in Long Beach. And I'm married. I have 3 kids, 2 boys, 1 girl. They're all adults now. I get to do my time of doing some self work now. And I really did. I dived in really deep. And I've been on a healing journey now for going my 14 years. So there's a lot of wisdom, a lot of trials, a lot of betrayal on the way to learning about myself and how to heal others, not knowing that the most healing that was needed was my own healing so that I can do this work. But yeah, I came. My family's from Chihuahua, Mexico. Our tribe is Taromadas. We're a proud Taromada, and that's where my curandismo comes from. Learning, that kind of medicine to help heal our our ancestries and what's going on here with ourselves, with our bodies, how it manifests in diseases if we don't take care of them. And there's real medicine, which is plant medicine, that will heal those wounds. And a little bit of trust and opening your heart to heal, it'll lead you on a beautiful road of healing. It's not easy, but it can get done. And just let your heart.
Thank
Let
you
it
for that beautiful, beautiful, beautiful introduction and already going in just with your introduction. So let's first take some breaths and land, and let's just ask Spirit to guide this conversation and let it go and touch the people that needs to be touched. Let's go ahead and put our hand on our heart and take a couple of deep breaths. Just thanking ourselves for showing up today. Thanking our higher self for being ready to share, to be vulnerable, to be authentic. Thanking ourselves to following our intuition and bringing us here today. And for not being afraid. We ask Spirit that you will come in, you will guide this conversation, that you will lead this conversation, that you will flow, allow flow to reveal and open up and share and allow what needs to be felt, what needs to be seen, what needs to be heard, what needs to be known, be known. And who needs to hear this, hear this. And thank you. And please let our true authentic selves show up, our true vulnerability and our truth and our worth and our knowing be here today. Amen. Thank you. Thank you. So, Grisel, one of the main questions that I ask all of my friends, because I want to learn and I feel that it's so important for others out there to hear our stories, is how did you heal from your greatest wounds? What are your greatest wounds? And how did you come out of them one by one? And give us some, like, almost like a, like where it started, when you wanted to start healing, or what you did to start healing, and what was the outcome. So kind of like give us some 3 testimonies of your life, of these big events.
Yeah.
And we can start wherever you want to start.
I'm gonna go with the womb. I have to go back to my root with my mom.
Okay.
So I have to go back as being a little girl and being betrayed by my fallen hero. My mom, it was very painful for her upbringing and painful. She transferred that pain to her kids, not knowing that not she wasn't only affected, she affected others down her line. And I carried that for a long time. And I think if I have to talk about anything, I have to start right there, because that would be the beginning of me, who I am right now in this lifetime, in this body. I am Grisel Garcia, and very proud of that. So I would say my deepest wound was forgiving my mother for not knowing, and I don't blame her, because when you don't feel love from somebody growing up, or disconnected, like nobody loves you, you can't expect this shiny, beautiful love to love you. She had to choose that. And how do you know when this is what you feel? You know, I'm thankful that my grandmother came in. She just passed away a year ago, but my grandmother was a son to me. She was everything. She taught us that love connection. And I think she tried to make it up, because she didn't do that with my mom as much. She didn't show it. If she was strict, she didn't let it flow. And for us, she let it flow. So she was always that's my everything. So her passing was it hurt. But, but she's somebody strong on the other side now for us. She comes in all the time. She's always talking to me. And I love not knowing that we still are connected through spirit. And the way you connect with spirit, and you're really connected, is through your heart. That connection of love is strong. When you get to experience that down here, that's her direct call up there. So I'm very in tune with all of that, and I'm in tune with myself and my surroundings. And I just choose to be a better person now. I choose to show that compassion, that love, that just my authentic me. I choose to walk in that now. And you get sidetracked a little bit. Sometimes things happen in life that they're lessons, and you don't have to take it personal. When you take it personal, that lesson keeps coming in. So each lesson that was coming in really fast, I kept stepping back and letting it go, crying it out. Just, why is this happening? Okay, I got to sit down now and stay in it, feel it, let it go. That was a lot of work. Because the last 2 years of my life, 2 years ago, it was God really sat me down. He really sat me down with life, with everything that I believed in, everything that I was doing. And when you're at the point of losing your physical body and going into the realm that wait a minute, I didn't even know like this. It's kind of a shock. That's why they stay in this vibration, like the spirit world. It's because they still haven't learned, and we're still going through processes in the spirit world, and here, and that's the connection. Gosh, I kind of went in another direction with this, but my you know what? I lost it. What I was talking right now, I lost it. Huh? Remind
Okay.
me, take me back.
Okay, so what happened to you as a little girl, and what did you do to break those chains to make sure that doesn't happen to your daughter?
All right, what happened to me as a little girl? Right? That's what you're asking me. My mom was very young when she had me. My mom was 13 years old. I think the most for me that I don't feel any hate or anything like that, but I feel more of like hurt that she couldn't get that love that was missing, that she didn't know how to love us, you know. And I think that was the first hurt was right there.
Mom, can you open it?
Oh, my daughter's here. I gotta get.
Okay.
Pastor, can you go around, please?
No.
Okay. So you have to go around, Pasha. Okay, yeah, she went around. She's probably gonna come in because I didn't tell her that I was doing this. So
Okay.
we're gonna have to ask me that question again. Sorry.
Um, what happened to you as a little girl? What chains are you breaking to make sure those cycles don't repeat to your daughter?
Standing, being authentic to myself, being authentic to myself, and taking accountability of the stuff that I've done. And if I done anything to hurt anybody, going back to that and forgiving them. Um, Forgiveness has been one of the biggest things that I had to let go of, because I had so much hurt of what other people has done to me, and I kind of just shut up. That kept making me be like a people pleaser. So being nice, overly giving my time, my space, my everything. It was just, my mom was like that. So I was doing it too. And once you become conscious of like, hey, you're you're doing the same thing that you're not wanting to do, or the things that you stand up for, you're doing it. How do you? It doesn't match. So I have to go in and see, why am I doing this? You know. And when I start doing that shadow work, that's it takes you through a very dark um chapter in your life, where you have to figure out, like, damn, did I do that? And then just say, you know what, I forgive you. I forgive myself, you know, and I forgive whatever it is, you know, if I did something to anybody, even to, you know, it could be anything. You can say, oh my God, you look ugly today. And that person can keep it deep inside them, and it can be something that they believe when it's not true. So not being careful with my words was probably one of the big ones. And so for me to heal from that is just doing this work and learning and not taking anything personally. Anything on my journey that I've done, I don't take nothing. I take it as a lesson. So it's not personal.
Right, right,
You know, like, all I send is love to you guys, because we're on the same journey, just different, different situations. Yeah.
right. So learning to forgive your mom and not take it personal of the love that she wasn't able to give you that she didn't know,
Mm-hmm.
and breaking that cycle and giving your daughter the love that you always wanted, and that becoming this beautiful woman,
Yes.
nurturing mother. I
Yes.
see you.
Yes.
And just giving your daughter everything that she needs and being kind to her and yourself.
Yeah. Yeah. That was very important for me. When I see my daughter, I see myself as a reflection of me. So I don't want that weak side to ever be, you know, I transfer that back to her. So I'm not only doing this for myself, I do it for my daughter, my grandkids, my grandbabies that I have, if I have four. And I do it most of all for myself, you know, that I'm proud of myself for standing up for myself. So that's the reason I do this.
Thank you.
I'm on this journey.
Thank you for sharing that. If we can we go on to the next huge thing that happened in your life that helped you? Um, and how did it start? What
Mhm.
did you do to help the situation? And what is the outcome of your trust and your faith that
I
you had?
Okay, that I had, and then now what I have, which
Mm-hmm.
is way better than I will talk about probably betrayal. Betrayal was another big one in my learning experience. Um, is Nobody's perfect, and you go out there and you think you're going to get the perfect husband, the perfect friends, the perfect everything. Perfect doesn't exist in this world. There's no perfection. Yeah. So learning that I didn't have to always be on 100 with everybody, and I can take a step back and not be present on everything. And that's like self work. And I'm going to talk like a betrayal, any kind of betrayal, any kind of this betrayal is betrayal. And whatever
Mhm.
betrayal it was that you sensed, the thing that I didn't know then that I know now is that I don't have to hold that in. I didn't have I stood too long, way too long. Um, I'm just glad I'm not in my 80s saying this, I'm in my 40s saying this, but and a lot of people will keep those wounds inside of them and not speak of them. And when you start to do that, you start to get sick. You start to have diabetes, and you know there's just all kinds of diseases that will surface, and it's all because we have wounds inside. So what I didn't know then that I know now is you don't have to keep it inside. You can write it on a piece of paper, burn it. I mean, there's a lot of things that you can do. Go to the beach. Oh, my favorite place is the beach. I love to play a drum, and I love to have the vibration or the feeling of the freedom of just being spirit. And sorry, let me just turn this off. Thought it was off. Um, she threw me off. Let's
It's
go back
okay.
to talking about.
So, what made you forgive? What made you know that? What gave you the decision to forgive in any and all betrayals in your life and experiences in your life? What, how did you get from that place to, you know, to finally forgiving?
Um, I was self sabotaging my body. I was self sabotaging, not knowing that I was trying to perfect something that wasn't mine. And part of my prayers and meditation and just connecting with myself was, why was I doing this? Why was I altering my body so it could look a certain way? And once it took me down that road and figuring out this is what it is, those insecurities that you have inside, those, oh, the next person would be more pretty than you do, or what if you're, I'm not good enough, to just not being good enough for
Mm,
anything, and not being present because I'm thinking, oh, they're probably looking at me, talking about me. They're always going to look at you, especially when you have something to give now that is authentic. It's a different kind of look now. And that's what led me in the road of forget. I knew it was me. It had nothing to do with outside. It had everything to do within my heart and in my mind and what I was feeling from my soul, that was begging me, please open the door. I need your help down here. You came for a different mission, and that was not your mission. Open up. And I said yes. I opened that up, and it's not an easy road. Healing is never easy because things. It's not. There's a challenge that comes with it, and you got to be ready for the lessons and see the good in it, and not the bad. Even in the bad, there's always good, but you can't take it personal. You can't
yeah,
take it personal. Yeah.
that's beautiful. Thank you. Thank you for sharing all of that and how you used to fill the void with, thinking, oh, to perfecting your body and maybe even like, shopping and things like that that were like,
Was another
you
big one. Yeah,
that were
yeah,
like, forms of like filling the void, addictions and perfectionism, and that not until you let go of all that that you were actually able to open up and crack open and say, that's not making me happy.
yeah, yeah. I had to say, people are, they would say, "Oh, she's crazy, crazy, crazy." I was saying, somewhere down the line, I'm going to believe it. And I chose, I'm not believing that because I know that's not what it is. And but you could go down that road too. This can be a very it can be a hard walk, not knowing that you're getting yourself into that hard walk, but that's your spirit begging, like, come on, let's just do it. I'm ready for you and you're ready for me. So
Right.
yeah, and yeah, so then that goes with my faith, the beliefs that I have. And we're here temporarily. We're not here forever. We're just our this body is just a costume for us right now. This is what we're in. And instead of ruining it, let's take care of it. How do you take
Yeah.
care of it? Self-care. How with self-care? Prayer, just quiet time, not always getting all, you know, like you wind up, you have to unwind,
Mm-hmm.
start with all the problems, and all I need is money, 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 money. And guess what? Money, money, money stays away, because
Mm-hmm.
it's like I thought, the law of attraction, it depends how you're trying to bring it in. If you're doing it with being worried, you're not getting anything. But if you're doing it with, hey, I put this out there because I need it, and do it, you got to do it when you're in good. You can't just run to it when you're doing bad, because that's unbalanced. So yeah, that's a good way of putting it.
Thank you. Thank you. And something that I always like joke around with Grisel is like she makes comfy look classy. She
Ah,
like showing out with her sweats and her little cute heels and like looking so comfy but so classy.
yeah,
And
that's,
it's
I think
and it's
so.
like, what is it that you feel inside when now, because you're a different person, when you put your clothes on and you walk out and you feel like, and
Mm.
you're walking in your power, like what is it?
Oh my gosh, it's like the best feeling. It's like, and God came down and said, "Here, you got a reward. Like, here, you got a reward. Like free. I feel free. I feel, I don't have to hide, um, and behind anybody. I feel free to do the things that I came here to do. And, just to be me and love every day, the person who I'm with, my kids, my grandkids, just, show them that, you know.
Mhm.
So I feel free. I love going out now. Not into maybe not the same things I used to do, but I love nature. I love the beach. I love going for walks and, you know, hiking. My
Moon
this,
dances.
I'm this close from being completely healed from my knees. So start dancing and just really just giving it my all. Yeah, I like that. I'm so in peace with all of that.
Hallelujah.
Yeah, thank you.
And if you're willing to, because it really changed me when you shared this miracle and the testimony of your son. If you're able to share,
My Frankie.
yes.
Mm, thank
I
you.
remember we were in a circle not too long ago, and you said like, what you did about it, and then how you started to trust and surrender, and then like the outcome now, him reaching out to you for a cleanse or like a
Yeah.
session, or like the call that he gave you, you shared with me, was like the
Mm,
biggest miracle and testimony of all. If you can talk about that
yeah, yeah.
and just summarize that journey for you, and what you,
Yeah.
as a mother, how did you transform the situation just by your love and faith?
Frankie is my oldest son. Oh my, I love that boy. That boy came in as a teacher to me and taught me that part of addiction that made me more go into myself. Like him not believing in himself, that's before Canano more. He believes in himself now, but just him falling and feeling that, so like you're not loved and you have so much love around you. It's like that pushed me to learn more about my spiritual side. in spirituality, um, he's really the reason why I went to school for 8 years for pranic healing. I learned how to heal with my hands and learn how, because I wanted to learn about spirituality. I wanted to learn, how did he end up with that addiction under my watch? How? No, I got to fix this. Your kids come through you, but they're not for you. Your kids will come through you. God gives them to you for 18 years. That's what they say. And you're supposed to guide them in the right direction. It's our duty to do that for them. So guiding them in the right direction, I thought I did, but something was missing. That's where it comes in. Your kids don't come, they come through you, but they're not for you. He's on his own journey. And I know that he has to overcome that by himself. But guess what? I have the strength in me to keep pushing and never giving up on those prayers, because God answers them. He answers them. He probably doesn't answer them right away, but he's going to, because you're his mother. You're that direct connection, mother or father, whatever that is. You have that power to uplift him so he can learn the lesson and move forward. And now he has to, he has boys. He has 4 boys. So he has to teach his boys this. And I was thinking, like, why, like, just, I have my son, and my kids are completely different personalities. They do different things. And my son, I said, why did I have to deal with that part of the addiction for him? And my teacher. He made me go in deep. He made me go in so deep that I had to start working from my heart. If I wanted to heal myself, there was no way I would have done it without not learning that lesson from my son, or him going through that dark side. I would have never had one in this deep. My phone rings right after I get out of prayer from that. And I said, oh my gosh, God, if that's Francisco, I'm going to have a big old smile, because I know we're directly connected, right? Well, it wasn't Francisco. It was his dad. And I was like, what? Okay. So yeah, I had to stop for a second and tell him thank you for the lesson, because if he wouldn't have done that, I would have never learned this lesson either, because he had that addiction problem. So we went we go further. The good thing of having these awareness, because you become aware now, is that life is not personal. There's nothing personal about our life. We take things personally, and we don't have to, because our kids come through us and they're not for us. So I love him, and my daughter-in-law calls me the other day, and she's like, I don't know what you did to Frankie, but whatever you did, he loves me, and I'm not used to this. Like, I love him, and I'm like,
What a miracle.
I asked my daughter, Jasmine, that's my daughter right now, my daughter-in-law, but she's my daughter. I love her just like my kids, the mother of my grandkids. So I'm counting on her too, to become that strong woman. And little by little, she's being molded the same way, to believe in yourself. Nobody can do that for you. You can't get it nowhere. You really have to do the work. Nobody's going to say, oh, I'm going to completely heal you, and there you're healed. Sorry. That's not the way healers even work. So if one is telling you that, no, don't believe them. Just go walk. Just go to the beach. Sit down there by yourself. You'll heal yourself just doing that. But the journey is a beautiful journey. You just have to step into it and know that it's not always going to be happy. You're going to have some sad moments, and you're just going to know how to manage and go through it and overcome it, and know that you're on a mission here, a mission to love, to open up your heart and to share that out to others. I think if we all opened up like that, this world will be a better place, because everything starts from your heart. Everything starts from your heart, even your thoughts. If you let your thoughts take over in your mind, you lost. But when you got something that you have to answer, you don't have to call a psychic to give you that answer there. You're giving away your power. Bring that thought from the center of your forehead, right in your where the pendulum gland is. You start focusing on that, and you bring that question down to your heart, and you sit with that question. Your heart never lies to you. It'll tell you if this is a good thing or if it's not a bad thing. You'll hear, you'll feel, When you know it's not good, your stomach gets tight. When it's good, you gotta smile. You feel good. So you have to pay attention. You gotta tune into yourself, because if when you don't tune in, you can be reckless, because this is your temple and you're not caring about your own temple. So that's my little story with my son. I love that boy with
I
all.
remember how excited I was. Like I cried. I don't know if it was on the phone or when I got off the phone with you when you told me how he was struggling, and then you did like a cleanse bath on Jasmine and the babies, and that he left and he called you and he
Yeah,
was like, "Where's mine? And why can't I just have some time with you and sit down?"
yeah, yeah,
And I just remember feeling the most sincere joy and celebration for you, because I felt I was also celebrating all of our sons in that moment.
yeah.
In the disconnect that we have with our sons when
Hmm.
they get into teenagers and they start making their own choices, or the influences, and
Yeah.
I was feeling at that time despair of my own, with my own connection with my teenage boy. And when you said that, that was the testimony, that was the miracle, and that was the miracle that I was going to hold on to, that I know is for not just your son but for all of our sons.
Yes, 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 100%. I believe that 100%. So, I knew that even part of his lesson was part of my lesson too, because I work with a lot of people that are, they have addictions like that, and they're called they're called like spirits that are around your head, and it's just the thoughts and stuff, and there's a lot of stuff that's
Yeah.
probably um another talk, but staying focused on what I'm doing now, it's just being authentic to myself, being the real, who you really are, where you want to come from. So using your mouth, I mean, not your mouth, using your how you speak to others, being impeccable with your word, the Four Agreements. That's a good book. um, I really take it down here, so I think about it before I say, because before I always talking, that's because you weren't heard as a little girl and kind of had to shut
Mhm.
down. That's when you were around a lot of people that always want to just talk. Because you met me around that time where I would talk over like, and I didn't know that I had that wound until you start doing the work and you're like, oh my gosh. So now listening is part of prayer for me. Listening is part of prayer for me. So when I listen, I listen to every detail that you're talking or you're saying, and that's how I guess. I don't guess. I know. That's how I interact with everybody, and I think that's why I'm so in tuned. Yeah, because I listen.
I remember when I met you, you you cared about what people thought.
Oh, a lot. Oh, yeah. Oh,
You
gosh.
everything was about um it was more about like I like your worth was like the material things that you had,
Yeah.
the cleanliness of your house.
Yeah.
And you are just like transformed into this new
Yeah.
person.
Yeah. Yeah.
You're like now you're just like true to yourself, authentic, what's
Yeah.
comfortable, what am I comfortable in, not what's gonna
Mhm.
look good.
Yeah.
And if they're not gonna like it, then that's okay. And I could still do it with grace and be elegant, and I see that transformation in you.
So the elegant part, I get that from my grandma. My grandmother Gloria Rodriguez. She was so classy and elegant at the same time, and she was very she was a little warrior lady. She was a little warrior lady because she came out like with so much confidence. Nobody could knock that down from her. So that
Mhm.
she was a big role model in my life, and I think that's where I get my confidence from is her. That's where I get the classiness and from it's from her. Learn seeing her be so elegant. I want to be the same. And sometimes, you know, the shopping and the name brands and all that stuff, there's nothing. I like name brands, they're nice, but it's not something I pay attention to anymore. Not as much. All my stuff, you ever see me on anything, is gonna be that's old stuff, you know. But yeah, you get to a point where a pair of sweatpants and a hoodie, call it a day with some sneakers on. Let's go. Let's do this. You know, hair slicked back, put some nice earrings on, you know, have your cute little purse, and you call it. You don't have to do anything. It's nothing to do. Name brands, just
Right.
a
Right.
distraction. You have to see, like, why do I spend so much money on this stuff? You can spend it, but I want to know why you're doing it. Why is it that you need so much of the same thing?
Mm.
You so much. Why is it costing you so much? How about, you know what? Sometimes people have the money, they can do it, but I just sit back and just say, like, why am I doing this? Why am I keep going? And they're gonna find a wound there. They're gonna find a wound. And I'm not saying once they find that wound and they get rid of it, it's gonna be all good. No, you can still do it, but now you know you're not doing it with that intention. And you start seeing things differently. Me to go out and do that for me now, I rather spend it in learning. Because that knowledge, that right there, everything spiritually, I'm taking that home with me. I'm not taking the purse with me. I'm not going to take none of this here with me. So I'd rather enjoy everything I have around me. Thank you, because everything is useful. I love the way the house looks. I love the way my room. I love everything. I just went in my room right before we started this, and I have the windows wide open. The sun is shining right in my room. It's like a beautiful oven. I love it. Right. So, and I know by this way, doing this, what I love, how I feel, and how I'm moving now. There's nothing that I cannot have. There's nothing I cannot have. There, I can have everything because now I enjoy it. I'm not working like constantly thinking like, oh, I want to do this. If if it shows up, I can do it. If it doesn't show up, it's because I'm not ready for it. That's it. So I'm not. This is how you get rid of the poor mindset. You know, the poor mindset
Mm.
that I'm not. You know, like, oh no, but wait, let me see. Let me get that person. I'm putting in payments and do that. You know, whatever that is. It's like that's worry. I want it. It's gonna cost that much, but I'm gonna do it in payments. I still gotta come up with the money. Why do you want more worry? I don't know. I choose not to do that no more. I choose, if I'm going to do that, it's going to be for schooling. It's going to be something that I'm going to learn so I can help you. And then I can go and travel and be in other places doing the same thing, doing this work, doing the work of helping others, because everybody goes to that dark shadow side. And if we don't learn how, we stay stuck and we'll keep teaching our kids, you know, thinking negative. No, 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 no. Let's start back. Let's go to the, let's go to the root. Let's see first. We have to go to the heart. We
Yeah.
have to go to the heart first.
So, what would you say out there to people that are afraid to go deep and not knowing what's going to happen when they go deep and start digging into those childhood wounds, those teenager wounds, those, relationship wounds? What are some three or five, how many number, things to always keep in mind through those, to push through those hard moments? And just give us like tangible words, like.
That is temporarily and that will pass. It's temporarily and that situation will pass and never stays the same. Time doesn't stop for nobody, and it's not going to stop for you either. It's going to keep going. So might as well flow with it. Let it be. Offer that prayer up to God and let them take care of it and know that He's taking care of it for you, however way it shows up. Yeah, time is not your friend. I hear people say, "Oh, I'm just killing time," not knowing that time is killing them. It's like don't say those things, because not knowing and keeping us asleep is what it will keeps us with those traumas inside of us. So yeah.
Thank you for that. Thank you for that. Medicine woman curandera. Thank you. So, what are the things that you do on your weekly, daily to keep, you
Oh
know.
my gosh, I wish I can
Yeah,
show you my home so you can see what I do.
yeah.
I'm in prayer. I'm a praying woman. I like to pray for of course myself and my family, but most of all for others to wake up. I think that's my biggest prayer for us to wake up. This world, I don't pray for health. I don't pray for that because that's all temporarily. But I do pray for people and for including myself, for all of us to wake up and learn and know that you're here on a mission to find yourself.
Mm.
So if you take the step in saying, you know what, I'm gonna do it and take it one day at a time. I had a good friend that would say that to me. One day at a time, one day at a time. And you know what? One day at a time. And I do take it one day at a time. Yeah, it always changes. And you know what? I think I should go a little bit deeper with that because when things happen in your life that puts a stop to your time because you don't know how to act and you don't know what to do, that's when you need to take the time off. You need to take the time off and take that time to really heal, to let go of stuff, let go of the people pleasing, of the person that, I'll help you before I help my family. You start that, you're gonna get so lost. You're gonna regret what happens in between those moments because you kind of lose track of time. You can go very deep with that. You got to be careful. You got to be really careful. You got to be really spiritually connected with God because that's when you get tested a lot. God's trying to see, let me see where she's at now. If I can bring that to her or I can bring that to him, whatever it is, you're responsible for you. You're responsible for your own thoughts. You're responsible for your own actions. So if you're responsible, take the time to know you, to know how your body feels. What no means. What does your body say when you say no? What does your body say when you say yeah? What does your body say when you're around people and all the lights, you're beeping, your whole body is telling you like, get the fuck, I'm sorry, get out of here.
Get the fuck out.
Oh, just go, just go. You're not supposed to be there. And it can be with work, it could be with school, it can be with your in-laws, it can be just family. It's just, you don't know. So you got to take that time when you're not feeling good no more. Take the time to go heal yourself. Take the time, you know, connect with church, connect with healers, connect with nature, connect with the salt water of the ocean. Those ones will heal your heart slowly. But there's a lot of healers out there now that can help you through that journey, and I'm so glad that we stood up to that. Hey, I'm part of that crew. I'm part of that healing crew over there. you know and that's the light of this world, us. So we have to trust the divine and know that we're truly divinely protected through this journey. And you're not going to never stop learning. You're always learning through this journey. If whatever the situation is, you're always learning. So whatever it is for you on the journey, it's that you're divinely protected and you have your surroundings want you to do this work. They want you to say yes to you. That's when you say yes to yourself, that's when the real magic really happens. It's beautiful.
Saying yes to you.
Yeah, yeah.
That is your medicine.
It is. It is.
That is how you transform your life. Like I
Yeah.
seen you 5 years ago, and then 5 years ago, like you're not the same person.
No, yeah, no, I don't even feel it like that. No way.
Saying yes
Oh,
to
you don't
you
know
and
what I say.
practicing no when needed. No. Like
Yes.
no, I can't go, or no, I can't. I'm sorry,
And
or no.
families, your family, what you have created in this world, that's your yes. That's your yes. Anything after that, it's a no until you make room for it. And if there is room for it, and some people don't understand and they step those boundaries, and they want if they're miserable, they want you miserable too. Or how did you get that and you didn't get, and it's like
Mhm.
they put a stop so that you don't get to that. Not that they're jealous of you, or not,
Okay.
yeah, or not that they want to see you bad. They just don't want you to see you better than them.
Mm.
They don't want to see you better than them. And that's what holds them, because you have something within you that they can never touch. They, or they're trying to, let me rephrase, let me say that another way. They're trying to get that and they don't know how to grab on, grab on. So pulling you down is the only way of doing it. And that's, people take stuff personally. And this is not we're not here to do that. So
Yeah.
to take things personally, if you take it personally, you're gonna meet another person just like that, or even worse. Until that person learns that lesson and say, you know what? I messed up. Go there and forgive yourself, go right there in that little moment, because we're not all perfect. But me, I don't take nothing personal. I'm not gonna take that personal either. So we just go through stuff in life that just the only one that's gonna be able to pull you out of there is you. So you better strap up. You're going on a journey, a healing journey. They come with lessons. And even if you don't go through the journey, you're still going through lessons. I'd rather be aware of my lessons. So I won't take it personally, because when I'm not aware, I'm going to take it personally. Yeah.
So true. So true. And thank you for those key points. You shared forgiveness. You
Yeah.
shared not taking it personal.
Yeah.
And you shared protecting yourself from the
I have
spiritual
to.
warfare that's going on around us.
I have to.
Like daily taking the time to protect yourself or feed in or pour into your cup.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And it's so like symbolic but literal. Like my home, I take care of my home, and then my home that is here, my physical home, will be well, and then it can trickle outside of our home.
Yes. You carry it. It's an aura. It's like an aura you carry with you. And you took the commitment of driving your motor. This is your vehicle. So you're taking control of your vehicle now. Somebody's
Right.
driving. Somebody's driving it now. So, but there's a lot of drivers. There's a different kind of drivers. So you just got to be careful. Be aware of, of the danger of the falling in hands of other people, and you end up being a victim. And then you got to go through the survivor. I survived that. I'm,
Right.
I don't want to. I don't want to ever even think of being a victim or a survivor. I just want to be right here, right now, present. Because if I start thinking about the future, what does that do? It gives you anxiety, because you're like, how am I going to get there? How am I going to do that? Right? And then you think of the past and you start thinking like, this is sad. You can't even. It's just you don't even want to think of it. All you have is the present, is right now. This right now is the present. And if you think about it, this conversation we're having right now, it already passed. So all we have is the now. So I choose to be um, a kind person, a loving person, and see them as I see myself. That helps me see people differently.
Mm.
Yeah, that helps me see people differently. They're not all going to be good. They're not all going to be good, but you know how to weave out of that. You'll know where to go, where not to go, what to tolerate, what not to tolerate. But you don't learn them. You learn them as you go. The best lessons in life are when you don't have to go through the lessons, because you learn from the ones that went through them already. So the addiction person raises a kid, right? And say the son's watching the father do drugs, and he watches them. He's like, oh my gosh, he's either going to be just like him, or he's going to take another direction. He's going to be like, I'm not doing that, because of how I saw my dad, what he went through, and I'm not going to do that to myself. So that's one of the best lessons, when you don't have to go through those, because
Mm.
other people. And when you see other people and you say, damn, you've picked a hard one, but you can do it and pray for them instead of judging them. That's deep. And I choose to live my life with that mindset right now. Yeah, that's what I just, that's the way I feel. Nobody can tell me who to talk to, no, or not to talk to that person. Yeah, my heart has to have compassion. Jesus Christ is the one that came and walked here, and he went through, you talk about compassion, to still forgive. So why would I walk around with that, seeing people differently when he took in, like he talked to everybody. I
Mm-hmm.
wasn't there to witness it, but you know what? It's in the Bible, and I'm a Jesus Christ follower too. So I believe the stories, and I choose to live in that way too. I choose to live with that compassion in my heart with for others. And the reason I stepped into this was was because of my son. uh, challenged me. He challenged me to go in deeper because of that. I thank you, Francisco Sanchez Jr. I love you, my love. And I love my other two kids too. They're all different. But yeah, that was a hard lesson, and a I'm thankful for the lesson. I really am. There's a lot of people out there that deal with that kind of addiction, and it's not an easy one. They die all the time, but that's because they weren't able to heal those broken pieces inside of them. But when you get people that can help you through that, but that's it's a miracle. You call it miracle. I call it you just stepped up to yourself and you want to heal. Yeah.
Wow. Yeah. So true. Thank you for all of the wisdom and the experiences that you shared with us, Grisel, and for
Mhm.
being vulnerable and for being okay with being uncomfortable a little bit,
I
and
know, a little nervous. Mhm.
and that nothing has to be perfect. Thank you for the wisdom of, you were started off as a perfectionist. You
Yeah,
surrendered and you
yeah.
had faith and you prayed and you just went in and you started to heal. And that, you know lots of times we start with that that control wound. We
Mm,
don't have control of our lives as a child. Everything is chaotic around us. This is the way I'm going to control my life now as a parent, or
yeah.
as in my home, or the cleanliness, or the things that I wear. And that was not healing, and that was not fulfilling you.
Mhm.
So
Mhm.
thank you for sharing that, because a lot of, I think, women have that in common. And I also had to learn how to let go and not control. And
Mhm.
not everything doesn't have to be perfect. And once in a while, the house could be a little bit half
Yeah.
messy one day, for the
Yeah.
sake of me putting a tree up with my kids and decorating it. Like, what's
Yeah.
going to make us happy and connect? Not
Yeah. Not the
yelling
clean
about the dishes,
not the clean house.
you know?
And then the angry and you're so mad because you're clean. That was me
Yeah.
before. Now
And me
I just
too.
enjoy it. Yeah, I just enjoy
Me
everything.
too.
Yeah. I love this part of my life right now. I just enjoy this ride with myself and these lessons, and I just see a whole different world. My world is different than it was
Mm,
before,
yeah.
because the way to change the world, you change yourself. You can't change. If you ask me if you can change the world, I'm gonna be like, dang, that's a big job, right? So not just one person. It takes one person to help change the world, and that's when you connect with yourself. That's how you change the world.
Talking about jobs, what is your dream job?
Oh my God, I'm living it. I'm living it already. I'm living it. I love to help people. I love to help people. I love to help them rem- go through those blocks in them and release them out. I love um I love to help others heal, with the medicine of herbs and the medicine of what planet Earth gives us too, and to help he- hold space for that person to say, let it out, just let's go in deep so that we can heal these wounds, so that you're not hurting yourself anymore, because holding on to stuff, you're hurting. You start rotting from inside little by little, and you don't have to hold on to that. You don't have to hold on to stuff. So my dream job is to do what I'm doing right now, is being a healer to others and a healer to myself. That's one of the biggest ones, because if I couldn't do the work for myself and the belief in myself, how do you believe in other people? You have to believe in yourself. You really have to pay attention to yourself and how you do things. I choose to do that. Yeah.
Beautiful, beautiful. What is something your little girl always wanted to do?
Damn.
You're gonna go into little Grisel right now, not from big Grisel. What is little Grisel?
I love to dance. I love to dance Aztec, that whole tribal. That's I love that. I love to play a drum. I love to, that the frequency of the drum, it heals. It goes in and it touches something inside of us that opens up, opens up, and it starts bringing the memories and stuff. I love to dance.
I love it. I love it.
I love to
Did you
dance.
ever get to dance as a little girl? What's one memory you have of a good memory of
Oh, I
you?
was a dancer. Okay, so I was a dancer. My grandma, I used to dance folklorico. I came on the newspaper and everything in San Isidro. Yeah, I was the smallest dancer, the youngest dancer in folklorico. I
Oh,
was 4 years old, and what? I remember looking at the people, looking at me dance, and being so small and how they loved, and I'm like, I love to see them happy. So I just, okay, they enjoying this, and there's the whole energy, like, oh, I like it, whatever it is. And I'm like, how beautiful that they're like happy to see other people happy. So
mm,
since I was little that I have that memories, and those my grandma used to, she loved to see me dance.
oh my
Yeah.
gosh, that's so beautiful. And now look at you with your beautiful um what would you call that? Your
My
headpiece.
headdress, yeah, my headdress.
Yes.
What would you call it's a headpiece. It's a
Yeah.
headpiece. Yeah.
Your
We
tribal
have this bottle
headpiece.
over
Oh
here.
my gosh.
Yeah. So going into that with the Aztec dancing, it's like I love it. I just love that. Everything else just starts flowing in. How? I don't know how, but I know that I'm doing my work, what they send me out here to do. So I'm doing it. And that includes being happy. So I can do that too.
I love it. I love it.
Do
So,
that.
for listeners out there that don't know what you do, what are your services? What are your sessions like, or what kind of services and sessions do you offer?
I offer they're called like platicas. First, we're gonna see what's going on, So um I do right now I'm a student of practicing curandismo, and and I do Reiki. I learned Reiki too, did 3 years of that, and I do some pranic healing. But the most of all, I love going to the beach and going to do some drumming sessions at the beach, and that's really the release of whatever's going on, anything stagnant. So that's my signature, huh?
Yeah.
You would say that's my signature right there, doing those. um but I do it over the phone or on Zoom, and I offer those kind of intuitive readings. So it's not like, oh, is my husband cheating on me, can you tell me? No, I don't do those
Mm.
kind of readings. I'm not that kind of reader. I'm more of an intuitive reader of when when you are ready to heal, and I'll sense what's going on, and we work from there, removing those traumas off of you. And yeah, and they're beautiful sessions. They're not just healing me, they're healing you too. So I do it with so much love to help. Yeah.
Absolutely. I recommend a beach drumming session with Grisel. Beautiful things happen
Yeah.
in front of the ocean,
Hmm.
and especially with the power of the drum.
Yeah.
You
Yeah.
know,
And the rattles,
any
the rattle.
sound, any movement with sound is very powerful.
Yeah.
Not to mention the water, that cleanses right in front of you. It's just like
Hmm.
so potent.
Yes.
So
Yeah.
yes, I definitely recommend a beach drumming session with Grisel.
Yes.
Any
Yeah.
kind of drumming session
Any
with
kind
her,
of drumming, right?
even at a park, just
Yeah.
book
Yeah.
her for a drumming session.
Yeah.
And yeah, and you can reach her on your handle.
Um, email or
Share your
Instagram.
email. Yeah, share your
Yeah,
email and Instagram.
I will.
Okay, good.
where would I share it right now? Give it to you right now.
Yeah, just say it like verbally.
So it's Grisel Garcia 917 at Gmail. And my Instagram, you know what? What is the name? Is it GG01 Love?
Yeah, let me look it up right now. It is.
I should know this already, right?
Yeah, it's okay. Oh yeah, GGGIGI01 Love.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes. Um, and yeah, that's kind of,
So hit her up, book a consultation,
yes.
or a session, and if you're really ready to go deep and need some guidance or some support, and that's what this beautiful healer,
Yeah.
medicine woman is willing to help and be of service to
Mhm.
other people out there that are ready and seeking help.
Yeah.
So thank you for offering your services, Grisel.
Yeah.
And
Me too. Look what
thank you
you're
for
doing.
thank you
Wow.
for saying yes to this beautiful cause. You know, it's like it's for me, I feel like it's a movement of
Yeah.
voice for women. We didn't get to voice in our unhealthy relationships, in
Mhm.
our dysfunctional homes, in our, you know, times of abandonment or whatever it is that we
Yeah.
experience growing up. And
Mhm.
sometimes, you know, we put ourselves in messed up situations too. Sometimes it's not always the outside. And I feel it's such of a movement all around the world right now to share voice.
Yeah. Yeah.
You
It
know,
really is.
women, yeah,
We're in that shift that we're evolving, and the ones that move with it, they keep evolving, and the
yeah,
ones that don't, they just stay there, and until they learn whatever lessons are they're trying to show them, but they're not, you know they don't understand it, or why
yeah.
is this happening, and it takes an elder or somebody to say, hey, you're really messing up here. Like
Yeah.
you're taking stuff, personally, when you just leave it alone. They're just, it's okay. Not everybody's gonna be nice,
And
you
the
know.
beautiful thing about voicing and this podcast and any woman being willing to share her story anywhere, anywhere at a park, in a circle,
Hmm.
anything, is that we our ancestors, our grandmothers,
Hmm.
our mothers that were not able to voice, we are
We're
doing
the
it for them.
Oh yeah, we are that voice now, and either you stand up for that calling of standing up for yourself, or you're just going to be a part of the following others, and because they seem like they're happy, but I'm going to tell you right now that money just makes you comfortable and makes you live comfortable, but it won't get you into heaven. So
Yeah. Thank you so
that
much.
that yeah.
Thank you so much, Grisel, for everything, and for um, just your beautiful, glowing light of authenticity.
Oh, thank
I
you.
love it.
This was really going out of the box for me. Like, I can do this in front of you and talk like all day, but now doing a recording is like
Yeah.
another thing. So thank
So
you for
thank you for being
putting
open
me
and
out.
willing and brave.
You're welcome.
We
Yeah.
love you. We love
Thank
you. Thank you
you.
so much.
All
So we're
right.
going to go ahead and end the recording, and we will put the description and the ways to contact Grisel in the description, so you can see it and click on it and access it in the description. Thank
Yeah.
you all.
All right.